Welcome back to WEGS Garage. We are back here again working on our 1964 Triumph TR4, kind of getting down into the little tiny details on this car that seem to drag on forever. Last week we put in this really awesome custom glove box right here, so if you haven't seen that video yet, go check that out. But you'll notice it's done with the exception of one very important component, and that is the door, which of course, in classic this car fashion, is all screwed up. So we're gonna try and figure it out and figure out how to make that actually like close and hold, you know, your gloves, I guess. So stick around, stay tuned.
Well, the mission today is get latch A from Moss Motors in glove box door B. And I don't know what the story is here, but this is the glove box door, and it looks like some squirrel chewed a hole in here for the old latch. I don't know what the deal is, but the bottom line is it's almost a round hole. But if you look at our latch, and here it is, with the key side here, and the pull handle here, it's got to be inserted in this fashion. I don't have the clamp with it, but there's a clamp that sneaks around the backside and holds all this in. Well, to cut to the chase, it doesn't fit. The hole is kind of round, but it's got to be notched in a rectangular fashion up here to accommodate the actual latch. And I think what I'm going to do is I've already traced out the outline of this square part where it goes in the top of the door. And I thought about using a power tool to notch that out, but I don't trust it because one slip and you can screw up the whole door. I think what I'm going to do is saw this very carefully by hand, and then with filing get this thing to fit in there, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this definitely needs some modification because this will definitely not fit in that hole.
Here's kind of the junk that was in here previously. I don't know if this is just like a weird lock latch thing, so that has more of a round shaft. That's why the hole is not right at all for our new latch.
Welcome to the new Yankee wood shop.
Before we get started, let's take a minute to talk about shop safety.
Yeah, you never can tell when a file can get you.
Norm's probably got a tool for this.
Norm's got every tool ever made for wood. Yes, for this project we'll be using the rat tail file.
I don't ever remember hearing him say that.
I don't either. Oh wow, that is really close.
Nice.
I think I gotta go a little bit more at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and I think it'll push through.
It's starting to look a little more like the right shape.
Well, it's a little closer to being round than that chewed out squirrel hole we started with.
Oh, just like that, huh?
Oh, like that.
Now we reveal the next problem.
Yeah. Yeah. What Mark's talking about is a little latch that flips up that's supposed to catch on something. It's inside the door. It looks nice, it's just that it ain't gonna work. Well, there's actually a little woodworking involved with a Triumph TR4 as we're finding out. What's going on here is that this latch, see the little flange here on the lock mechanism, the push lock mechanism? That has to fit flat against the front facing of it. But with this being a 1/2 inch thick, you can see that the actual catch latch is going to be buried inside here. So what we're going to have to do is take our cutout hole and actually indent it so this latch will fit back into the wood, allowing the catch to sneak out behind the door, so the little louver here will catch on a metal tab that comes down. And it looks like it has to be inset, guessing here maybe 1/8 of an inch. Mark is the king of woodworking, and he's got a lot of hand tools that he can actually take the front facing of this and indent it so this whole mechanism sinks into the wood. And just gathering at it, it looks to me like the front of the lock here is going to be about flush with the wood facing. But he's younger, he's got better eyes, I'm going to let him tackle that. Basically, it's take the outline that I filed out and cut, go all the way around so this insets down into the wood. Mark, you have homework.
And for that, we're going to have to take a little road trip. Okay, so here in my woodworking cave, and I've got the glove box door right here along with the latch and the finger pull. And yeah, don't tell Dad, I'm not actually 100% sure how I'm gonna do this. Basically, I need to kind of like recess this back inside here. So somehow I need to cut like a little kind of recess in the front of that. Okay, I have an idea. Hold on a second. Around here somewhere. This one here. I think this might do it. All right, in this box I have my router plane. Check that out. All right, so I think what I can do is I'm gonna get this nice and right where I want it, and then I'm just gonna trace around it with like a knife to kind of cut the edges, and then get the depth with the router plane. That's the plan. All right, so I think I'm there. I just need to get everything deeper to get that fully recessed, and then I'll have to figure out how this thing fits in, because it's not exactly a perfect fit around there, but I'm at least gonna get this recessed to the right depth. Okay, now I do have this thing. Like it's starting to get pretty flush there. I'm getting a little concerned because here's the latch on the other side, and I don't I think even if this was completely flush, I don't think that's gonna pop out. So I'm probably gonna have to still do something about that. I just think this piece of wood is thicker than a standard Triumph wooden dash. So again, our car's kind of a weirdo, so that's what we're running into here. But I'm ready to try putting this little finger pull on there. It's kind of interesting. The finger pull doesn't have the same sort of lip on it that the lock does. So this bottom part's got to come down at like a much different angle. So I think for that, I'm probably just gonna have to use like a rasp or something. I don't know. Try and get it to fit as well as I can. Yeah, okay, so I think what I'm gonna have to do here is kind of like, because this is about 5/8 of an inch here, and I think that this latch is designed for like probably somewhere around 3/8 of an inch thickness. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is probably just notch out the back of the door right here so that it's 3/8 right in that spot, and then the little catch on the dashboard that the latch goes and kind of grabs onto will come into that area on the car. So I think that's gonna work, but I'm not actually gonna do that now. I'm gonna probably bring my tools with me and go down and take a look at the situation on the Triumph itself before I do some irreversible cutting stuff right here, because I don't want to screw this up, because again, like getting this grain to match, not going to be very fun. So anyway, hey, let's head back to the shop. All right, let's see what we can do with this. Well, there it is. We got it installed. We did make this little latch. Because the thickness of the dash is not the same as stock, of course, nothing works right. So we made this special latch here to screw into the wood so you can kind of see it when the door's closed. It's not really that big of a deal, but it should work good. We just do need to get some slightly flatter head screws to go into the wood there, and then that should work real nicely. So that's it. Glove box latch installed. All right, and that's gonna do it for today. Once again, big thanks to Moss Motors for hooking us up with this here latch for our car. They are awesome. Check them out. I'm sure if you have a British car, you've probably heard of them. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.